Hey guys, welcome to my channel, and I am bringing you something a little different today. Little different, little not different. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say those Fisker blades, man, they blunten quickly when you scrap at least 5 or 6 pages a week. But that's okay. Fiskers, if you want to spot me some blades, I would love it. Okay. That's my joke. It's okay. All right. So, years and years ago, I was a creative memories consultant. I have recently rejoined CM, not for the promotion or selling of it at all. It was to buy albums. I nearly had a small heart attack, but that's okay. I got past that. But it did get me to thinking, I've got so many CM stickers, I really need to use them. I need to do something with them. So I pulled out my border stickers. They call them a border sticker. They're a long strip. Now these stickers I bought way back in the day. So I'm talking 2004 or 5. I bought these stickers. You've got to give CM credit where credit's due. These things, when stored properly, they're still just as sticky as the day I bought them. They stick down, they hold down. Everything CM is quality, big time. That is the one thing I will give them. So here's the border stickers. Now, I have them in the jewel tones, I have them in the pastel tones, and I have them in the bright tones. And I have so many of them, and I just don't scrapbook that way anymore. I don't. Do you remember years ago you used to like pick and stick, and you'd pick a sticker, you'd stick stickers all over your page, and that's how they wanted you to do it. Even back then, I had my own style and I didn't like doing it that way. But FYI, I bought all these stickers because I knew I was finishing up, and back in the day you had to spend, I think it was like $600 every 3 months or something like that, Australian, and because you got a discount, like that was a lot of stuff. Like you had to scrap a lot, and obviously the idea is sell it to your friends and family, and and create a customer base and all that sort of bizzo. Now for me, I'm not up for that. I'm not up for selling and all that sort of bit though. So I sign up for myself, and that's exactly what I've done this time. I've signed up purely for myself just to buy albums because I love their albums. Now, what I decided to do was use these striped stickers, but I wanted to use them not how they were intended, which were as a border sticker. So I figured what I'll do, and I had this idea in my head, those, we can see it there, the square within a square. That's what I had in my head, and that's what I wanted to do. Oh, you want to know painful? Watch this. Okay, so that bit there is really satisfying to cut the edges. But all these little bits, because they're so sticky, oh my Lord, you should have seen me. I was in here this morning trying to clean up these little tiny triangles. They were everywhere, and they stick, which is what you want from a sticker, but oh, it was killing me. Okay, so because my pages are not even, so I have 11.5 by 12, right? So you can see that the diamond, the rectangle in the middle, is not a perfect square. Okay, so what I wanted to do was add the stripes in the same order, not that it had any significance on the page at all, like it wasn't light pink to dark pink or anything like that. It was just continually put them down in the same order. So I went through, and this particular square I put vertical, so the stripes are going vertically, And then on the other one, I go horizontally. And it was a really good way of using up some stickers. I've got to tell you, I still have oodles of them. So I have to come up with another idea for something different to use them up. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I love the stickers. I love all the CM products. There's nothing that I don't love about them, to be quite honest with you. These stickers are so sticky. They're so good. So what else can I tell you about today's picture? Today's pictures. If you are a subscriber and have been for a little bit, you're going to look at these pictures and go, huh, hasn't she scrapped that before? I'm sure I've seen those photos before. You have. Don't second guess your brain. You have. I did a page with these photos, and I will be honest with you, I didn't like it. Did not like one thing about it. Not one bit. I did it, and at the time I felt really, wow, I did it. I actually did it. And I used pegs. That's what it was. It was a bit of a challenge to use pegs on a page. The problem with it was I didn't hate what I created. What I created, I liked the look of. I liked the whole deal. But the pegs were just way too thick to go in my albums. They were just insanely thick. And I wasn't going to cry a river over it, but I wasn't going to throw the photos out because I hate throwing out photos of my children. So I removed the photos, I ditched the page, and today I'm re-scrapping those photos. Do I ever go back and re-scrap pages? This is the one and only time I have ever done it. And the reason behind it was purely and simply it was too thick to go in my albums. There was no way I was ever going to be able to put that page in my albums. Because I use the Creative Memories albums, they're designed to sit flat when you open them, so you can literally have your whole album flat, which is great. It doesn't allow you to add that much texture, to be quite frank, because that's not what CM sort of promotes. They do have foam now, which is a good thing. So they obviously are promoting it to a point, but these particular pegs, by the time I pulled the pegs apart, glued them together, then I added, help me out if you've seen the video, I think I added either glossy accents or I added, it might have even been embossing powder. I don't know what it was, but they were thick. They were thick pegs. They were the little tiny mini doll pegs. That's what they were. And yeah, the idea was there. Don't get me wrong. The idea was there, but it just didn't transpire. So I decided to re-scrap my page. And this is what I'm coming up with. So see, we've got some horizontal and some vertical, and I didn't want to do the stripes all the way around because that would just be polarizing, and then there would be, what would be the point of having it on black card? I have left a tiny little gap. Have I worried about it being perfectly mil for mil? No. Some sides are a little bit closer than the other. That didn't concern me. That was not a big deal to me. I did consider leaving larger gaps and narrower gaps. I did think of doing that, but my OCD brain can't handle that. So that's okay. So I combined, I didn't use the jewel tones. I just used the brights and the pastels. And I did consider not using the orange because it does, I'm glad I did now, because now looking at it on the video, it's not as bad as what I thought it was when I was doing it. The orange is like the brightest orange. I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it. But for some reason, looking at it under my fluoros and under, I've got LED lights, which I have the bright lights because I scrap so much and I'm looking at fine details so much that I need the really bright lights. It does, I can't say it washes it out. It doesn't wash it out. It just, sometimes the photos don't look quite as bright as the video. I don't know why, but that's all right. So that, see, once I put the white back under, bam, it looked good. There's my gun. Look, see, I'm using it again. Ooh. I talk about having a love-hate relationship with a tool. That tool is a love-hate relationship. I tell you, I considered sliding that underneath and then thought, no. I did think about putting it up on some foam, and then I thought, no, the idea was to lessen the chunk on this thing. So I didn't press that down yet because I want it to still have a tiny bit of movement. And there we go. So this was just me and my daughter and I. We were laying there being silly. This was years and years and years ago. And I'm using, at the moment, I'm using my Uniball Signo broad pen in white. And I absolutely love it. This pen, when it works for me and it's not being a pain in the neck, it works beautifully. And you get the most awesome bright white. I love it. Absolutely love it. So good. And I just added some stitch marks on there. And then I do something that I haven't done in a while. And I was going to just keep going to town, but I did manage to stop myself. So, but I added these stitch marks on, and I think that was enough. Like, if I had have kept going with the stripes, it would have been too much. So it gives me the contrast. The stripes are going two different directions. This is so simple. If you don't have these stickers, consider cutting yourself some strips from maybe even your scrap bin. You know, grab some coordinating colors and cut some scraps and do something like this. It is so easy, satisfying. It's something you can do while you're watching a movie. I was cranking out some music. I'll be honest with you. I was cranking out some Screaming Jets and some... That's what I want to know. What do you guys listen to music-wise? I was listening to a combination of singers. It was Guy Sebastian. It was Screaming Jets, Cold Chisel, Boom Crash Opera. Sorry, my voice is going funny. This is what happens when I try and do two voiceovers at once. I had the best Ice House, 1927. Wow, I tell you what, I was getting into the tunes when I was doing this. I absolutely loved it. And I don't even know how I got onto it, but it's on my iMusic. What's it called? iTunes. iMusic. There you go, Apple. There's a new one for you, iMusic. So it was on my iTunes, and I was having a look, and I was listening to Apple Music, and it was just cranking out the best tunes. I absolutely love it. Obviously, I've got them in there in a preset somehow, but it was so good. And I just started adding these letters. Now, these letters do my head in. You see me use Creative Memories letters all the time, right? Because I love them, and I have a ton of them. And I love them because you get heaps of each letter. Now, what you don't see me use are these multicolored letters. because my OCD, it does my head in to use different coloured letters in a word. But because this looked very lollipop-ish and very candy cane-ish, I sort of went with it, and I thought, you know what? This might be my opportunity to use some of these stickers up, because what else am I going to use them on? So that's what I did. I started adding all words that, my little squishy, I used to call her that all the time. I still do, my little squishy. And this is Jennifer. This is my youngest daughter. She is dead set. How can I describe her? She is literally cheeky precious. She's crazy. She's our gymnast. She's actually quite a quiet child. No, I can't even call her a quiet child. She's reserved in a large group until she knows who you are and all the rest of it. It's taken her 3 years to really open up and become loud at gymnastics and be heard, which is actually a really good thing, because we thought she was just going to be this quiet, reserved little church mouse for her entire life. And she's like her father like that. She's quite reserved like that. I'm the loud one in the household. And yeah, she's come out of her shell, but when she was a bubba, oh my God, she was so cute. She was she still is cute to me, but she was just the cutest little chubby cheeks and cutest little grin. And she would always, if she saw me not being happy or not smiling or laughing or what, she would do something to make sure that I got that smile back on my dial. She's that kid. I always joke and say, she was sent to us for a reason. So now what I'm using are my Creative Memories pens. I've had these, again, I say, for a million years. I'm using them in the round tip and the basic round tip and the fine tip, in the brights, the pastels, and yeah, that's it. And I'm just going around, and all the colours that I've used around the edges, I'm just adding 3 little dots in a triangle. Keep the dots tiny, and it makes a cute little pattern in the background, and it just closed up. Where today we would probably use inks or ink splatter or something like that, back in the day, this is what I used to do all the time, and I love it. Still to this day, I love it. Reminds me a little bit of wallpaper, but it's so good. I love it. So let me know below, what music do you guys listen to? What do you listen to while you're scrapbooking? And here's the close-up for you. So let me know if there's anything else that you would like to see. Please, if you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you did. It would really help out my channel. It's free, and you then get notifications every time I load up a new video. And I generally load up 6 videos a week, 1 each day except for Sunday. No worries, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will chat to you soon. Bye for now.